treat you different when your lady's unattractive.
They treat you different?
They treat you, yeah, they
They treat
judge
the
you.
man different?
They judge you based off your lady. Treat
It's saying that people treat men differently when they are with attractive women, the beautiful women. They treat you differently as a man when you come to a space and you're walking in with an attractive woman, and or every time you come to a gathering or to a business meeting or something, you're always with attractive women. That's they treat you differently. They treat you with respect. Let me show you this video.
you different when your lady's unattractive.
They treat you different?
They treat you, yeah, they
They treat
judge
the
you.
man different?
They judge you based off your lady. Absolutely.
What you mean?
She's a reflection of you.
Okay.
So if you have an unattractive woman and you say you're in a business setting, right? You bring her around, they're gonna look at you like you don't make good decisions.
Wait. You're saying if you're in a business meeting and your woman comes in and she's unattractive, they think you don't make good. What if she's smart?
Men
She's
don't do a lot of business with men who are like, who that's your thing. Like you have 4, 5s, and 6s around. You can get a lot more opportunities as a man from other men if they know that you're a guy that brings around a nice atmosphere when you're around. Like you, the guy that all the women like,
yeah.
he's gonna get some opportunities based off that.
Dang.
Believe it or not.
Dang.
Yeah. You know those guys in the NBA that sit on the bench? Why you think they still on the bench? They bring something to the table. It's just not what they want to put on the floor.
Dang.
Absolutely.
They just
So they take you seriously. They don't just treat you with respect. They take you serious because they feel like you know what you're doing. They feel like once you can, bag this pretty woman, you know what you're doing. You have something up there that is making her to be with you at this point. And I feel like even women as well will want to come to you when they see that how did this one get this fine girl? They'll want to get close to you as well because of the woman that you're with. So the longer and short of it now is women now we bring something to the table, even if they think we don't bring anything to the table. You guys, I have your reaction on this video. Let us know your thoughts about the video down in the comment section, and I'll see you at the end of the video.
Treat you different when your lady's unattractive.
they treat you different?
They treat you, yeah,
They treat the man different?
They judge you based off your lady. You can get a lot more opportunities as a man from other men if they know that you're a guy that brings around a nice atmosphere when you're around. Like you, the guy that all the women like,
Yeah.
he's gonna get some opportunities based off that.
Men know this, okay? That's why they are quick to go out in public with women that are really physically appealing, and they will likely keep private the woman that might be less attractive. He doesn't even have to like the attractive woman like that. It is the connection that people make about his power by being able to have a woman like that on his side. It's like a form of social currency. And that's why when you are attractive, people typically use that social currency to be able to navigate through life. So men know this, and they truly maximize this. And I also think that's why sometimes they may be even hesitant to necessarily move forward with a proposal or marriage, because they're waiting to see if someone that is more attractive in their eyes becomes a potential candidate before they actually choose a specific person. And I'm just talking about like I'm just talking about like bum behavior. I'm not talking about like good men. I'm just talking about the typical immature male that is underdeveloped. They very much know this. But also, when you do have an attractive woman and you do genuinely love her, they are going to flex her. And it is a form of social clout, it's a form of social currency.
People treat you different when your lady's unattractive.
They treat you different?
They treat you, yeah.
It's really interesting because he then goes on in the interview to say that having an attractive woman will get you more opportunities with other men, which is actually, like, if we're being so fucking for real, it's actually true. Pretty privilege not only benefits a woman, it also benefits the people that she's around and the people that she's with. So for example, if you're the pretty girl in the friend group, typically you can get the group into spaces that maybe someone else wouldn't be able to get. You're the one that can get them in the club, get them cut, you can cut in the line, you know? So it's also a benefit to the men. And I remember I was in a relationship years and years and years and years ago, and I overheard this man say, like, I want to be, you know, because I guess I just didn't have that wow factor. Like, I'm a cute girl, but I'm not by any means like a quote unquote baddie. I guess I'm like average. But I overheard him saying to his friend, I want people, or I want other like dudes to be like, yo, that's you right there, like that's what I want. And as hurtful as it was, as I got older and I just started to dismantle just the patriarchy and how men are conditioned to think, it didn't really hurt my feelings anymore, because it's just like it's typical. It is I'm confident in myself enough to not take that personally anymore. All that to say that this is another example that men don't look at us as actual human beings. They look at us as property, commodity, something that can help them get ahead. And then once they get to where they want to go, this is not all men. Again, we don't have to discuss the nuances. Then they either quote unquote upgrade, or they drop that person who was with them in the trenches and help them get those opportunities and their foot in the door. But men just do things for other men. Like, literally at this point, men just do things for other men. Because, I mean, I could be wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but women don't necessarily like that. Unless it's a pick me, unless it's someone who is very male centered, we don't care. Love is love. You like what you like. We don't hate on that. But men 100% perform for each other. It is what it is. It's an intersection of having a woman with pretty privilege and how that can benefit the man in the relationship. And then don't let the man and the woman, both of them, be beautiful, because the opportunities would become endless. But I guess you can say at the same time, women get looked at differently if we entertain a broke man. But that's another conversation for a different day. Like and follow for more.
Treat you different when your lady's unattractive.
They treat you different?
They treat you, yeah, they.
I really hate that so many people believe things that are not true. Like, I saw this post on my timeline and I was looking in the comment section, and there are so many people agreeing. Baby, no. That just means that that man doesn't have that juice. Men are the ultimate gold diggers and booty kissers and lickers if it comes down to a man who is very wealthy and has a lot of money. They will mimic that man and they will treat him like he is literally Jesus himself, okay? Like that man can do no wrong. Now, let's be clear. If a man is judging you based on the physical attractiveness of your woman, then that means that that man that's being judged probably doesn't have the juice. Because guys that have the juice, they have the power, they have the money, they have the access, or they have the network. Men fall in line behind those men. And if you do not believe me, go look at that show, Members Only Palm Beach. You look at those women and they're married. Most people would not consider those women conventionally attractive. And I'm not here to bash anyone's looks. Let me be clear, I'm not trying to do that. But by the beauty standards in America, most people would consider those women not hot. Okay, they're not the most beautiful women. And let's be clear, there are lots of men on the planet Earth that don't have power, don't have access, don't have money, and they have drop dead gorgeous wives. And those men are not getting ahead. Literally, y'all, follow what is really going on in life instead of what people are telling you. You have to be careful about narratives that are being crafted and you're modeling your life after these narratives. And if you want to be like, how do you know? One, because I'm a wealthy woman and I'm around a bunch of wealthy men and I have a ton of wealthy clients and rich clients. And I am telling you, I've told y'all this for years. There's a spectrum of what these men's wives look like. Okay. And these men are still making money. They're still getting respect. They're still getting opportunity. They're still doing things that like 99% of Americans will never be able to experience. And they love their wives' dirty, stanky draws, especially the ones that got with their wives when they were like in high school and they didn't have anything before they started making all that money. Baby, they never leaving those women. Never. Never leaving those women. Now, when they get wives after, that's a different story. But the ones that are locked in with the woman that they were with in high school or college when they didn't have nothing, baby, you can't tell them that that woman isn't the queen of Sheba. You understand what I'm saying? And baby, men are still respecting them. They still getting it done, no matter if that woman is conventionally attractive or not. Men that are bosses, they date whoever they want to date. They screw whoever they want to screw. They marry whoever they want to marry. They do not care what other people have to say or think about it. They don't care how many kids she has. They don't care if she's an OnlyFans worker. They don't care if she used to be a 304. They don't care if she's bigger than a hot air balloon. They don't care if her mouth looks like a jack-o'-lantern. They don't care if she has crunchy toes. They literally don't care. They're like, I like her. She makes me happy. And that's that. The men that are the bosses, they set the tempo. They set the trend. And they don't run around looking for external validation from what the bros are saying or what the bros are thinking. They don't care. They do what they want to do.
People treat you different when your lady's unattractive.
They treat you different?
They treat you, yeah,
They
judge
treat the
you
man different?
They judge you based off your lady. Absolutely.
What you mean?
She's a reflection of you.
Okay.
So if you have an unattractive woman, and you say you're in a business setting, right? You bring her around, they're gonna look at you like you don't make good decisions.
Wait. You're saying if you're in a business meeting and your woman comes in and she's unattractive, they think you don't make good. What if she's smart?
Men don't do a lot of business with men who are like, who that's your thing. Like you have 4, 5s, and 6s around. You can get a lot more opportunities as a man from other men if they know that you're a guy that brings around a nice atmosphere when you're around. Like you're the guy that all the women like.
Yeah.
He's gonna get some opportunities based off that. Believe it or not.
Something that I found so interesting about this video, and I thought it would be a good conversation starter, is that you will kind of hear a lot of men say that these days women don't really bring anything to the table besides their looks, and that their looks aren't really worth anything. But then you see a video like this kind of go viral, and everybody's pretty much in agreement. And so when I think a lot of times that men say that attractive women get everything sort of handed to them, and they don't have to do anything, there's definitely truth to that. But also, there is this sort of notion, I think, that a lot of men will say that attractive women a lot of times don't bring anything to the table. But clearly, based off of a video like this, that isn't really true. Because even if the attractive woman might not directly bring something to the table, and I'm not even saying that she automatically doesn't, but let's say in a scenario where the woman is just attractive and she doesn't bring anything else to the table, a lot of men kind of subconsciously know that he's going to get more status based off of being associated with that woman. And sometimes it's not even a romantic thing. Like a lot of times it could be, but I've seen situations where guy friends of mine would be friends with like really, really attractive women, and they would go to the bars with them, and them even being around those women would get more women talking to them. So they would even be able to get hookups by just being around attractive women in a platonic way. A lot of times when you are a man with a attractive woman, I mean with a woman in general, but especially an attractive woman, you kind of are pre-vetted by other people. You kind of get into things more easily as a man. You're viewed as not as threatening. There will be some women who will actually flirt with you if they see that you're with an attractive woman. Now, are a lot of those women like mentally healthy? Maybe a lot of them aren't. However, you will get more validation and women kind of flirting with you if they see you with a highly attractive woman, because for some women, the subconscious thought is, wow, if he pulled that really attractive woman, there must be something going for him. A lot of guys will sort of high five the man who's able to get, you know, a model looking girlfriend. Like he said, there will be certain business opportunities if the guy is involved in a business and he brings around a really attractive girlfriend or wife, or even just attractive women in general. So truly, there really is a sort of social currency in being able to be around attractive women. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to completely carry a long-term relationship, because it's not. However, I do think sometimes it's a bit disingenuous to act like there aren't very valid reasons for women to kind of prioritize being attractive first and foremost before all of the, you know, intrinsic character qualities, which are very important for a long-term relationship. But especially with modern dating now and the way that we meet people and how many people kind of want their best possible option, which is understandable. But a lot of people are very hyper-focused on status and what is going to give them status. I'm not saying that it's right. I'm not saying right or wrong. It's not really about what's right or wrong. I'm just saying that it is just the honest truth that even an attractive woman who doesn't really bring anything else to the table, a lot of times people can kind of benefit from that woman. And so I think sometimes this is kind of the disconnect between what people will say that they value versus what they actually value when it comes down to it, because I do think that a very, very conventionally attractive woman, she could kind of have an attitude. I'm talking like super supermodel attractive, right? Like she could have an attitude, she could not be pleasant to be around, she might not be that intelligent, but there are still going to be tons of guys who will heavily pursue that woman and kind of want the social status of being around her because those men are still going to directly benefit from that. And ideally, if you're going to date somebody, you would want both. You would want them to be attractive and you would also want them to have the intrinsic character qualities. But I do just think too often in our society now that people will see that being attractive will get you all these perks and benefits and people kind of bending over backwards because they see that being around you will increase their own societal standing. Whereas having all the great character traits and all of that stuff is great. And people ideally want that if they already are attracted to you. But a lot of people will realize that that's not really what they should focus on because it doesn't really get them the results. So this might not be a popular perspective, but I'm kind of just saying the way that I see it. Being attractive, especially as a woman, has a lot of social currency, and an attractive woman still is bringing something to the table. Now, am I saying that a lot of guys are going to want to, be in a long-term relationship or marriage with her for, 10 plus years if they don't like her personality? No. However, like I said, to say that an attractive woman who doesn't bring anything else to the table is not bringing anything is kind of a bit disingenuous because in our society she is, and that just kind of is what it is. That is my unpopular opinion, but let me know what you guys think. Bye.
But I would like to know, why do they treat men differently? Why do men treat men differently when they see you with attractive woman? Why do they take you seriously? Why do they give you opportunities? Why do they invite you more to more events? If you're a guy that know beautiful women, they always want to give you invites and tell you invite those fine, fine girls and come to the event. Why do they do that? Why do they kind of treat you more with respect if they know that you are surrounded with attractive women? Another thing that these men do is they want to show you off. So if they see that you're attractive, you're pretty, everything pretty, they always want to show you off to their friends, everybody, so that they can have that. She's pretty. I have a pretty girlfriend. I have a pretty wife. They always want to show you off everywhere so that they can be respected. They always want to show you off. And another thing why they do that is for male validation. They want to take you around where all their friends are so that they can respect them and they can, hail them and be like, how did you get this fine, pretty girl? How are you? How did you get this fine, pretty girl? Another reason is they know that women will always come to them because most of the time, some women, like I'll say the pick me's anyway, they find these men attractive because of the type of women that they are with, not because the man is attractive, or not because the man. There's nothing attractive about the man. The only thing that is making that man attractive is the woman that she's with, right? And some of these big men women want to, come to you because they see that you're with attractive. They want to come to you because you're with an attractive woman. So because you can get that attractive woman, they feel like there's something that this woman sees in you that is making her to be in a relationship with you. So they also want to get that thing again. They want to get it from you, whatever. They will try to push themselves around to that kind of man because they feel like he's attractive. And I feel like men know this. And that is why they want to be with attractive men. I agree with this last creator that most of the time when a man, always, what do you bring to the table? What do you bring to the table? Aside from your looks, aside from financial whatever, aside from your money or your looks, what else did you bring to the table? And I'm like, even your looks, you bring something, even you existing in this man's life, you bring a lot to the table. You are helping his life. Around his friends, around his family, around his work, you are helping his life. Even if you don't have money, you are still helping it. You are still bringing something to the table. So those questions, what do you bring to the table? They just know that those questions are trying to belittle you as a woman. They want to, because there's no perfect answer for that question. That is just it. So now your looks as well bring something to the table. But now somebody is saying it now and everybody's agreeing. Even the men are agreeing. The fact that these men always seek their fellow men validation when it comes to them choosing a woman is crazy. And to be honest, women do not do that. Women do not want to show you their boyfriend and be like, what do you think about this guy? Do you think he's cute? I don't think women do that, right? But I feel like men, once their friend does not like the girl that they are dating, or their friend have slept with the girl, like they would never bring that girl anywhere close to their friends or family. You guys, what is your take on this video? Let me know your thought about this video down in the comment section. Respectfully, as always, Shukamaria David, and thank you so much for tuning in today's video. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please like and share and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one, guys. Bye.